All right, hey, happy Wednesday, good people. Come on in, hurry up, it's time for the Rated R show. You know we waiting on our good friend Jazz to come on up in here and have a good time. Uh-oh, I think she is here. Is yo. Exciting show for you tonight. I got some interesting. Oh, there she. How do we always match? Like we always do.
We didn't even talk about this.
We never talk about it. We always kind of be like, we in the same. We so simpatico.
And then I lightweight started to ask you what you were gonna wear, and then I was like, no, I kind of.
No, right. It's so fun. I love that. I should have put on my little fatigue. I'm a survivor.
I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop.
Right. Yo,
thought that I could breathe without you.
I tried to start things early tonight too to make sure that we are on point with all this stuff. To make sure that we're like on time, on point. Literally, my camera wouldn't turn. I just decided to take the phone and start slamming it on the table, and then it worked.
It worked, didn't it?
Yeah, I was like, when in doubt, slam stuff on. So
hit it right.
My camera did not want me to be great, but I would not hear anything else of it. Only God will keep me from this show. What's up, Jazz?
What's up, y'all? What's going on? Listen, I'm so excited to be here tonight. I'm acting like a fan or something. Whatever the hell I'm trying to say. Whatever. I'm really excited to be here tonight. We have a great show planned for you all. We have matched up yet again. You know, that's just, I guess, what we're going to do from here on out.
It's just what we do.
We've been coordinating. Yeah, I think it looks great in the after show when we put it up on like Instagram and stuff. It looks really
good. It does. It makes you share the video. Welcome to the show, good people. Rated R show. Real friends, real talk, real informative, and also real messy. And you know, we always got some juicy, piping hot mess for y'all. So here it comes.
Listen, y'all, please make sure you share the video. We say this every week, but this is honestly the way that people get to see us and share the video. And we're going to always give y'all updates. And guess what? We have 2.1K views on our show.
The most we've ever gotten. 2,000 people actually clicked on the view for 10 seconds or more. We'll take it. Thanks, Facebook. We'll take it. Appreciate it.
Yes. And it is only because of all of you all, because last week we had 1.9K. This week we have 2.1K. So we are growing. And it is only because of y'all sitting down with your baby daddies and your side dick pieces and really making people look at
together.
Us.
So we're bringing families together. Like, there's no reason why your side piece of your main. Yes, everybody's talking about Veterans Day. I love Jan. Said, Jan, you're giving Veterans Day and Easter.
Hey, and Easter. Okay.
Yeah, we try to bring spring in. We're doing what we got to do. How everybody doing? Yes. So I will tell you, Dad, and before we even kick off the show, I almost didn't make it in today because one of my favorite people to watch on Facebook Live, Mr. I Am Delivered, Andrew Caldwell, is going live, and he was in some mess today. He's going live right now, acting a fool, messing up words, mispronouncing words, singing songs poorly, cutting up because he slid in Adrian Bronner. Who is Adrian Bronner? Is he a boxer, I think? Yeah,
he's a boxer. He was connected with Floyd Mayweather, but
when he slid in his DM, Adrian told him to get out his DM, and Andrew said, I got receipts that nobody will ever see.
He didn't. Did you hear the receipts that he had though?
No, he didn't have any.
It was nothing.
It was
literally nothing.
Saying that Adrian had blocked him. So we're not giving Andrew no energy tonight. But I just want to get out there. Andrew is getting the numbers that we dream about. Because literally, it's over 1,000 people watching his ass cut the food right now.
Lawrence.
Huh?
You want to pull a Andrew and act like you ain't gay no more?
Child, would anybody believe it, child?
I mean, we don't believe him, so
absolutely
not.
I got some news.
What, Lawrence?
Jazz and I are a couple, and she's pregnant with my baby.
Don't bring me into this bullshit. Try somebody else.
I'm loving this ghetto Raggedy Ann look you're giving us. I love it. I had to just
Did you just call me ghetto Raggedy Ann?
I love it though. I love it. I love it. Like, it's just a surprise. We just do not know. But anyway, let's get to the show that we actually are talking about tonight with all of you whopping.
What's up, y'all?
With all these 5,000 people in here watching us right now, waiting for me to start the show.
Shout out to everybody. That's our beginning of the show. We right at the 9 o'clock mark, so we did all the housekeeping stuff before we get into the actual show.
Right. So hopefully you all stuck around for it. So this is a really interesting story that kind of came up again. So a few, I say Rated R season 1, a few months ago when we first started out, we talked about this nursing home pact. That Jazz and I are actually involved in a nursing home pact. And the nursing home pact, for those of you who might have been watching, may remember, but for those of you who don't know, oh, right, Stephanie just reminded me, I got to stop. I didn't give a shout out to our sponsors. ISO Plus.
Oh my God! How could we forget?
There's so much money. ISO Plus, Fabulous Hands of Plus, ISO Plus. Shout out to the wig sheen and the sparkling red color. It's called Candy Apple Kool-Aid that Jasmine has in her hair tonight.
Stick your finger.
We love.
Oh, it's too sweet.
Anyway, you know we got to. We know people would miss, but they would miss the ISO Plus sponsorship, and I'm sure we'll have more sponsorships to come. But anyway,
yes.
back to the actual show. So in season 1, we talked about this thing, the nursing home pact. Basically, Jazz and I, we are in one to say that if any of us have to ever go to an assisted living or a retirement facility or nursing home, the other one is going with them. So no matter what I'm going through, I had to cut my light down a little bit. Jazz is gonna come in there and go with me. We're gonna support each other in that way. We are so excited about it. So
I'm excited about it. I was reading the article that you sent over. I'll go ahead and give my thoughts afterwards. But it actually made me feel good because I've been having a really rough few days, and so when I read it, I was like, it actually makes more sense. So go ahead, what you gonna say about it?
So yeah, so basically the nursing home packages, you gotta go to the nursing home with a friend, boo. You can't go there by yourself no more. That's just how that goes. And so basically it's called senior co-housing is now a trend for a good reason. So basically they're calling people, they're calling it longevity research. States that even living socially with friends and family helps you live longer, and that this idea of senior co-housing is becoming a thing, where you live in an intentional neighborhood surrounded by your friends and you share things in common. You have a common area like where you eat, your library, fitness center, game rooms, etc. It's a show on Fox, The Cool Kids, where they kind of live in a place like this. It's a senior living center where they're all like over 50. And they're like it's like golf carts. They're living good. They have a place where they do their meals, and so and senior living apartments have been happening for years, but they have this reputation of being these nasty places that smell bad. Nobody can do for themselves. That you sit
full of dysentery
at the wall.
And bed sores.
Yeah, and that's not happening. So the senior co-housing is a great concept for people. They call them the welderly. Welderly. That's the word of the day. Is welderly. Now that's a hashtag life goal.
Isn't it?
Welderly means that they're older, but we don't feel or act our age. And they have like these longevity tools that really keeps them living longer. They have so many activities and hobbies and interests and just doing their thing. And not just the simple, like we playing canasta or doing senior aerobics, so we in there doing this. Like actually going out, living their lives and having a good time. So we are hoping for that. And then the biggest point is, so everybody on this call, I think this will impact us. By 2050, the number of people over 60 will triple from what it is right now. So we're going to have a whole bunch of stuff wilding out, acting a complete fool in the senior living facilities. And that's something that we really are excited about. So I love this article that this woman wrote because she gave 5 reasons why you would prefer senior housing. And I want to, before I get into that, I love the level of optimism that this story.
I know, right?
Because last week, if anybody who was with us or watched the show, we talked about dating and being single and just really the hell that I don't think it was just not a good time.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great
time with it. And so we really are happy because you have another option. You do not have to wait for some ass man or some sorry woman to come mess up your life and mess up your money. You now have an option to be in a positive situation.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's what made me happy about reading the article too. It kind of it gave me something to look forward to.
You might prefer senior co-housing is you get a true community. You have friends that are close by. You have all these activities, and you don't have the feeling of loneliness that a lot of seniors have. 2, you have lots of privacy. In assisted living centers, they're very close quarters with one another. But with senior co-housing, you have your own private apartment or house or room in a space. So you're really sharing that common area and really living your life. They're also less money. living in a nursing home or assisted living usually costs more, but with senior co-housing, you're sharing resources with your friends, so you're saving money. 4, lots of mental and emotional well-being perks. So you less feelings of depression and living by yourself, people who don't understand you. And 5, which is really important, is safety. And I think that's the whole point, is that people being safe, feeling safe. Somebody knows where you are. They know when you fall. Jazz ain't answer the phone today. Go in there and get her. She lost one of her wigs. Where is she? You know, those types of things. And we able to watch and see what's going on. Like, if you come to breakfast and Jazz don't have a wig and a makeup on, we got to take her to the doctor because she might be having a stroke. So you want to make sure we get Jazz up in here. So I'm going to kick it to the comments, because y'all about to make me laugh with these comments. I'm trying to not laugh too much.
Please get into these. But before you get into these comments, y'all, you know, some of us are going to have to reevaluate the stories that we've made in our mind as children, that we may end up with someone and have a family in that way. And this is why, like when I was reading this article, this is why friendships are so important now, like developing and cultivating those relationships with people, because these may be people that you end up spending the rest of your life with. And like, I know it's a long time off, because, you know, hopefully we all have a lot of life to live, and hopefully we make it to the senior ages. But having friends, developing these relationships right now are going to be so important. And let me just tell y'all, whatever nursing home or Wilderly stations at the Sunnydale Greenville Road assisted living facility,
Christian City. Yes.
Right. Y'all are going to want to be there, because we're going to cut the food. We actually talked about, do you remember how we talked about how we were going to get put out?
Jazz and I are going to get put out of so many nursing homes. Like,
it's a 2-for-1 special.
It's a 2-for-1 special. We refuse to be separated, but end of the day, but people talk about how Angelique loves senior living apartments. Sephora says, nope, senior citizens will be wild. Yes, they will be wild as fuck. Absolutely, we will be wild, cutting the food. And I think that
wait a minute,
she cannot wait to shake her welderly ass on a hot young CNA one day, right?
Sephora is married, by the way, y'all.
Well, it is what it is.
That's hilarious, though.
And Calvin said, we don't have a resource of these places yet. This is kind of a fairly new concept that's kind of happening now, how people are living together, buying houses together, cohabitating and living. Danae does raise a good point that as long as they're having safe sex, STI rates are skyrocketing for seniors, and they've been on a constant rise for a long time. So that will be a whole new conversation about all these seniors.
That will be so much to talk about, but the elderly, they do need a little bit of education on STDs, for sure. Because they out here at the last minute catching,
are they supervised? Are they supervised? Do you have to be a certain standard of health? Yes, that's true. Like the whole point is welderly. So you're still in a place where you're well, you can do for yourself, you're pretty independent, very independent actually. And you're just living with like-minded people. So it's like, you know, imagine like Golden Girls, really, I guess. The Golden Girls would be a good example of that. You know, how they're doing their thing.
It really would be a good
living
example.
Together. But I actually cannot wait to go. And then Nikki disagrees with it. We're the only couple who puts old people in homes. Put your mama upstairs. You know, at the end of the day, my mother and I talk about this all the time, that how she doesn't want to live with me, and we value having independence. But I personally would love for her to be with like-minded people, having friends, and not in a nursing home. But if she's able to live and function with people where they are traveling together and they are eating together and checking on each other, and I'm kind of an asset to that, but she's still living her life versus, because I mean, if my mother's living with me, I have my own life, my own obligations, and
you won't be able to be there all the time. Right.
So you know, mama need to be upstairs, because she gonna be upstairs watching TV, running up the light bill, falling, ain't nobody done checked on her and all that stuff. Y'all, people are abusing folks at their house too. These old folks ain't living good at your house either.
And that's why we do want to make the distinction, because we aren't just talking about like actually living in a nursing home, but living independently, you know, but having people around you that you can share a space with. But we would probably have like round the clock help, you know what I'm saying? I can't remember all my medications every day.
And I love how Janae said, I always assumed I would end up in a Golden Girl situation, because we know black men don't live that long.
Y'all pushing
anyway.
This.
Wow.
Y'all pushing the Golden Girl, whatever the hell I'm trying to say.
Yes, so we're really doing our thing with that. But yes, everybody wants to be a Golden Girl. We love that. We're checking in on the comments.
You know, I've never actually seen a full episode of Golden. You know, let me not say that, because you be dragging my childhood. I know.
Yeah, because we don't know if you had one. That's yet again. How you not seen it when you didn't have cable? A lot of times.
How many times do I have to tell you I had cable? Okay, I told you I grew up watching Cinemax, but my mama wouldn't let me play video games. It was so crazy.
You watched Cinemax by choice, but you should have been watching TV Land or something with Golden Girls in it. You watched.
Maybe I was too busy watching porn to watch these old washed up ass old women fight over nothing.
Golden Girls. They gave you some of the best
Stephanie.
material of all time. So, we want to just highlight that story that's something that we called. I love that idea is catching on. I love that Jasmine a little bit happier about it now than she was when we first talked about it. You weren't too happy about having to spend eternity with me or your golden years of life.
Well, if I can say something real quick, if you guys, when we finish this show, go back to the that little video that we put up, Lawrence said that there is a very good chance that if he meets somebody, you said this is it. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
He's gonna cut me off if he meets somebody, but we know he never will, so I'm good.
Yeah, that's true.
Cause what? Don't nobody want us.
I just know that we're gonna still be doing the same rated R show with 15 viewers in the home.
Oh my God, no. In all of these years, listen, we already growing every week. How we gonna still have 15
This
viewers?
This is the 30th anniversary. But anyway, speaking of elders, honey, y'all got to put some respect on Maya Angelou's name.
Oh God.
I'm sorry, Miss Maya Angelou's name. She's my mother, my teacher, my elder, my professor, my auntie, my doctor. I materialized in the third dimension of Maya Angelou's eye, so I could exist. She came before me. We have to give her respect. I'm sorry, that was my Maya Angelou thing.
Okay, because I was wondering where you was going with this phenomenal woman thing.
I mean, pretty women wonder where Jasmyne's secret lies, because she's not cute or built to suit a fashion model size.
You bitch. You know what, bitch? You got one more time. Y'all, I'm hating his ass. He done already told me I look like Raggedy Ann. And now he already talking about I'm not cute or built to suit.
She's not cute or built to suit a fashion model.
Woo! But let me tell y'all, he's the only one who can do that. Let one of y'all hoes try it, okay?
Okay, because we will go.
But I'm going to get your ass.
No, but anyway, so respecting your elders, this Maya Angelou clip sparks a debate. I don't know if you all have seen it. But, go ahead. Do you want to say something?
No, I'm laughing at you still.
No, I don't know if you haven't seen it, but so it was a clip that this guy put out. He was barely just talking about a joke. I think his name was Mr. Girth of a Nation. He's a Twitter troll that kind of disrespects, but his tag was, I can't wait to turn 30 so I can read one of y'all for calling me by my first name. So the woman, the young girl, she was about 14. I think her name was Kim at the time. Mm-hmm. She said, so Maya, her question was, how do you feel about interracial dating? And so Maya immediately jumped. I'm not Maya. I'm 62 years old. I have lived so long and tried so hard that a young woman like you or any other, you have no license to come up to me and call me by my first name.
Damn.
That's first. She got claps from the audience. She says, also, because at the same time, I am your mother. I am your auntie. I am your teacher. I am your professor. You see? Now, Angelo, she later apologized to the girl, Kim, who's also a Black girl. And basically, everybody's kind of been going in about this clip. I personally don't like the clip that much, but I do understand the point of elders and names.
Yes, it's respect.
I get the respect portion, but I think, it's Miss Maya Angelou, Dr. Maya Angelou.
Okay, so hold on. Shout out to this little accent that you're trying to put on.
I'm talking about, I'm doing that.
I could close my eyes for a second and see Miss Maya Angelou.
I mean, it's like I have diamond mines in my backyard and still I rise. But anyway, I need to stop. This is not appropriate.
Please do. We are not.
I know, I got to stop.
Somebody said if you do her voice one more time.
When I say her name, Maya Angelou, I go into a place. But
well, finish this segment in her voice.
No, I might just have to, daughter. I may just have to.
Y'all gonna have to excuse us tonight. I don't know what just happened to us.
I don't know either. I don't know. I don't know. But no, basically, I did think it was a little bit gauche. And Maya did apologize for being too harsh to the girl. The girl was asking a question. She was young. She didn't have, and I'm just gonna say, she didn't have a disrespectful energy. She didn't seem familiar. She was asking a question. She was terrified, smiling with her little glasses on. I would be mortified if I were her, and if I were her parent, I would have also been mortified. Jazz and I kind of joked about what if the girl's mama was there and cussed Maya Angelou out, because sometimes parents intervene, you reprimand their child, but I see both sides of it, and I do understand that generation, and I had some of my grandparents were not disrespected. So they were not respected very highly. Right. Especially about like white people, the people they dealt with growing up in the South. So I understand that issue about about Mr. and Miss and Doctor and titles, but I think in that moment it was a little bit like, it was even and the fact that Dr. Angelou apologized showed that she understood it was a bit harsh for the girl. Yeah, I do think that she went a little above what the gathering should have been. But I do believe, just like you just said, it was because our elders were restricted from having those handles or those titles. I remember growing up as a kid, with my mother making sure that we addressed everybody who looked older than us as Mr. or Mrs. and just, it was that respect factor. So I think, she probably felt disrespected and wanted the girl to make a correction, but I think she took spend too much time correcting the young lady. It was a bit, Earl loved the clip. And Earl, you're in here. Why do you love the clip so much? That'll be great to know. And Andrea says, I saw the clip. Miss Angelou snatched my edges, and it wasn't even addressed to me. And I definitely felt that too. It was like, it was a bit harsh. I just thought it was a bit harsh. And I think that, go ahead.
I think it's like when we talk about like the respect that our generation and the generation that comes after us that we're lacking when it comes to addressing our elders. I think that this is part of it. The fact that you would even think it's okay to address someone older than you by their first name. It's kind of like, well, who the hell raised you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, why would you even think it's okay to address me like that?
But it was a book signing. She was promoting her work, her image. And kind of Janae said Maya was doing too much. She openly called her Maya. Needs to sit her ass down. Andrea, I think
Maya's dead.
I'm actually like rocking with Andrea tonight on this because Andrea, she said, because it could have been a level 1 gathering.
Yeah, I agree.
DEFCON 5. Like she cut that girl with razor blades and lemon juice. Like it was like, Maya.
Damn.
I am your auntie.
Sprinkled a little salt in it too.
I am your mother. I am your teacher. I am your professor. Yeah. And Earl says, I think as a professor, it happens, so he identified with the expectation. And I mean, we even talked about how a lot of times at white universities, they get to call their professors by their first name. And
look at
Reese said Maya would have got cussed out. I know. Reese, why would you have cussed Maya out? Please tell us. And Earl says, so just to be clear, Earl, being a professor, students have to call you Dr. Turner. Nobody can call you by your first name. Is that how that works? So I can't be in the class. Hey, well, I mean, I'm not your student, but that's how that works. Students.
That's interesting. I'm gonna have people now call me Iconic Flowers.
People do have a right to go by what they want to be called. I mean, this pivots into the gender conversation, to the title conversation. You have a right. If you want to be called something, you have a right to be called. I personally don't like the term Mr. because it makes me feel old. Even when I have friends who have younger kids. Do you like When the Devil Was Young?
Is that what we got, Lawrence, When the Devil Was Young? Can we call you that?
No.
Is that okay? Oh, okay. You don't like it? Okay.
No.
I just had to make sure.
No, I don't. I don't like it. Iconic. I don't like it. Iconic Flowers.
Just making sure.
Iconic flower sounds like a...
Shut up. You've had enough tonight. Before you even get started, you've had enough.
Reese said he gonna call her ass Maya because he ain't no slave. He is the dream and the hope of the slave.
But you know what? We gotta give Reese a little. We gotta give Reese a little room because he is biracial. So that's that white shit talking.
Oh, Reese is biracial. Reese, that's the white lady.
Yes, Reese, tap into your black side and be respectful.
Put some respect on my.
That's that biracial bullshit.
But yeah, so anyway, we just want to highlight that it was polarizing, but we see that people have kind of lost esteem with it. We're talking about it, having a good time with it, but it was definitely a good dragging, and I think that it talks about how disrespectful people are, and you have a right to do that. Andrea says here in New Zealand, it depends on the level of education. For example, when she's teaching, it's Miss Edwards or Miss when students talk to me, but with my thesis supervisor, she calls them by her first name. That's because she is, working on that. So I mean, it does happen. I mean, you pick and choose where you want to go, and you have a right to do it. I personally, when I'm with a superior, like working at a hospital, I report to a number of doctors, and I call them Dr. Such and Such. I lead with that all the time until we become. And I've actually been told, because I've been working with one doctor who was my medical director for a while, for like 6 years, and he said, "You've got to stop calling me Dr. Diaz. You got to stop calling me."
After how long did he say that?
I'm working. He told me this like years ago. But by habit, I just do it. I know that's kind of how it goes. So it is a very interesting thing. And Jadeka, she calls her 70-year-old coworker by her first name. They're colleagues, and it is what it is. But it's just it does really deal with who you. I mean, I have a 80-year-old coworker, but I do call her Miss. What her name is? I'm not comfortable calling her just by her first name. And I think that to close, we can close on Reese's point because I don't want to harp on this too much longer. But the girl meant well, but she didn't have to read the girl like that, and that's the whole thing. That's kind of what made it like. And then how everybody was rallying around to support Maya for potentially humiliating this girl. I didn't really appreciate that.
That mess was hilarious.
Anyway, to switch gears, more inappropriate behavior this week. That's the theme of the show. Daniel, who is Daniel Caesar?
Listen, okay. So I'm gonna take over for this, right?
Yeah.
But we're gonna share this conversation because I have a few comments on this. So the biggest issue with the gap tooth Daniel Caesar, other than the fact that he is utterly unable to pronounce the letter S without sounding like Voldemort's snake, Nagiri, I hope I pronounced that the right way, is that he is upholding these white supremacist ideologies that allow white people to attack physically and verbally black people, and then when we retaliate, they become the victims, and we have to own this. And because of belief that we are inherently evil, then we are the aggressors. And Daniel Caesar was pretty much telling people, black folk, to be quiet and to take the slander and take the joke, even though it wasn't a joke. And I will explain. So, do you know who Yes Jules is?
Nope.
So he was defending this one of our I was gonna call it Caucasian family members, but she's not our family. This girl named Yes Jules, who says she's Italian and Puerto Rican. She's a social media personality. Some people say that she is a culture vulture. She participates and is a part of hip hop culture, a brand strategist. But she has been trolling black women as well. Some of the things that she said about black women is that, and black men, is that black men, when she walks into the room, makes a beeline for her. She's also said that black women don't like her because black men do. In 2017, she got into it with Joe Budden over some, I think it was some sweatpants, right? Joe called her about some sweatpants he wanted to return. She was going to help him out. She also said that he was in her DMs, like a bunch of stuff she said. And she said she helped him out until someone sent her pictures of these sweatpants that he was trying to return, and he had warned them, and she was trying to tell him, you can't return something that you want, whatever, yada yada yada. Got out of control. They got into it, and she said that he lied on her, and so she thought that it was a good idea. Now, this is somebody who says that she likes black people. She thought it was a good idea to tweet out a picture, and you all know that I do not say the N-word, and I'm going to keep with that. She tweeted out a picture with a t-shirt that said, "N-words lie a lot." and she asked, "Should I wear this shirt?" Because she was saying she was hoping that Joe would see the shirt. He saw it, and so did tons of other people who went on to dragging her ass. But Daniel Caesar, well, and then she went on later in some more tweets, as of present day, dragging Karen Civil and also dragging Scotty Beam and saying that they were jealous of her.
People are.
Yeah, so like Karen Civil is like one of the biggest influential like marketing geniuses. Scotty Beam has a podcast as well, and she does a lot of things in hip hop, and she's a host as well. Like she does a lot of things in entertainment. But she went and dragged the two of them and said that they wanted to fight her and they were jealous of her position in the entertainment industry, all this other stuff. And they responded to it, and that's a whole like back and forth thing between all of them.
And so, in a nutshell, Daniel Caesar came to the defense, and basically he said, "Why is everyone being so mean to her in particular?"
He said, "Why are we being mean?
And why are we so sensitive,
Jules? And why are we being mean to white people? And why are we so sensitive?" So pretty much, Daniel Caesar was saying that it is okay for white. He said that it was a joke, but what she said really wasn't a joke. But I think he was trying to relate it to what what's that? What's the comedian
Dave
Chappelle said about him, where he was saying that he was sensitive to something Dave Chappelle said.
Well, Dave Chappelle said he looked like a homo. He said he looked really gay.
Yeah, he said it was, but it's not. It wasn't the same thing. This. Like her jokes, Jules' jokes were not jokes. She was seriously dragging black people. So he was pretty much trying to say that white people have a strategy and we need to follow their strategy. And that we need to sit our asses down and shut the hell up when it comes to what white people have to say about us, because they have the right to make jokes, make fun of us, and we just need to follow their strategy and to get money.
Right. And I think it's just really calling out problematic behavior, and that's just the culture that we're in right now. And I think people have to just kind of get over that we all have to check. And actually, and this is a good segue into the comments about Just Hilarious and the comments that she made that were inappropriate. Is that you have to be accountable for it, and that and the same thing if you're white, black, and if we all can be in a position to offend or say something inappropriate. Jokes can go too far. People can get happy. So I think it was really inappropriate when he highlighted defending this girl when she said so many hurtful and inappropriate and just cruel things. Like she was cruel to us. So, you know, you don't want to do tit for tat, but it does get very complicated. So thank you for sharing that.
It's just like, here's the thing though. Like I'm just trying to figure out, and shout out to KT. I don't think she's on here tonight commenting, but shout out to KT who put up a link on her page about Daniel Caesar. And the question that I was asking on her page is like, who, and I think I said this before, who are the gatekeepers who have appointed themselves as the people who get to decide what is sensitive to somebody else's sensibilities? Why do we keep having conversations about people trying to tell you what you can and cannot be offended by? Like, this is so problematic that another person thinks that they have the right to tell you what you should be mad at. If you're offended by it, then say I'm offended by it.
And no one can take a joke. Everybody is.
Everything ain't
and
funny.
It was this one guy who I used to like, and he's like, you know, it was some guy that he's a regular person, but he put on his Facebook page once, "I'm happy to be a part of Generation X. We're the last generation that can take a freaking joke." And it's just like, these jokes are bad. These jokes are inappropriate. These jokes are harmful. Like, these jokes are negative. These jokes cartoonize us. You have to be careful about what the dominant culture tells you is funny. Then you never can really be taken seriously. Because of caricatures of black women on TV, ghetto crackhead black men, when you enter a space in your normal life, if you're not the sassy black secretary or the thug, people don't know how to really deal with you. Exactly. And so it gets, these things have really raw implications. And so it leads into, like, I would say, I don't know if you all know, I unfortunately know who Just Hilarious is. And
you said you weren't going to do that tonight.
But the thing about it is that, you know, she made really rough comments about the Sikh and Muslim community for racial profiling. And she was on an airplane filming these men were getting walked off the plane for whatever reason, saying how she felt scared and how they let them back on the plane and the men weren't there. And she's like, "I'm scared. I don't care what y'all say. F y'all." When people, immediately started to call her out. So it's interesting because, you know, she could not apologize until Instagram and Facebook, all her followers turned on her, which is really one of my, which is the as being a content creator, now we can say we are that. It is the worst thing that could happen, being drugged for something that you said that you're standing by and that you like really go wrong and strong. The social media universe is unforgiving. And they really drug her for saying all these, saying what she said. So then she kind of talked about, somebody finally talked to her, or she said, you know, bear with me, I'm still learning. And which was a good tactic. I was defensive, but when you take the time, you don't really know what's transpiring. She wants to, so she really did some homework. And I even said to Jazz, when you don't know something, it's not time to pick up your phone and film. It's time to pick up your phone and Google. You do not have the right to say you don't know what's going on with people. So pick up your phone and Google. And that's why this show, Rated R, one of the R's is real informative. We try to research what we're talking about. We try to look it up. We actually are happy to have a lot of PhDs, social media readers, avid listeners who will hold us accountable and say if we say something wrong or don't have the full tea about an issue or really have the knowledge and understanding of it. So truly
we encourage everybody to do that too. If you have a link or something that you want to add or something that you want to say, this is why we do this on Facebook Live, and so we can get the views. But it's, you know, we're creating a space where people can share ideas. So this is one thing that I was thinking about, just hilarious, is her ridiculous rant, right? Is that she allowed her implicit social cognition to be on full display and expose herself as a xenophobe. And you know, this implicit bias is exactly the reason why Black and brown people continue to be murdered by the police, why you can't take your ass in a Korean store without being followed around, why Black people are finding themselves having the police called on them for mundane activities. Like, she is a part of this whole culture that's calling people out just because someone else told them that they should fear them.
Right.
You know, and we have to be very,
very careful. She doesn't even
this.
understand that's what she's doing.
Right.
That's what, if you don't know them, who told you they were bad? If you don't know any secret, who told you they were bad? The dominant culture that says negative things about Black women, that says negative things about you, that will openly shoot you in the store, that openly won't sell to you, openly don't want you to be a part of their endorsements, will pay you less. Like, you're in the same industry trying to advocate for equal pay. You want to get the endorsements. You want to get the money. So it's like all of this is a system. And that's the thing about it. We don't want to use this platform to oppress others. Like, we get everybody's struggling. Everyone's going through that. And we have to, just like she would want people to go to bat for her, if somebody makes a comment about loud Black women in a space, which is, you know, what I'm not saying she's a loud Black woman, but she is a Black woman who has been loud from time, or whatever negative stereotype, she would want everybody to come to bat for that. She has to do this. And I think she's learned that now. And that's the good thing about the call out culture, is that, you know, now sometimes you learn. Cardi B went through where she made some comments and she came out with the white flag about, I think it was something with gay people, said, I don't know. Please teach me. She asked to be taught about it. I don't know. And I think that is helpful and constructive when you're in the public eye, is to be a part of it. And
you gotta be receptive to the information too, because initially she tried to go in on people and say, y'all know I'm not racist, y'all know whatever, but you were definitely wrong. And I think it's a good thing that people were like, no, Jess, let me tell you why what you said is ridiculous, and why, you know, Muslim people are suffering right now because people see them going onto a plane and they get pulled off, or they get, like, if they're coming through customs, then they're the ones that get pulled out of the line and checked. Like, this is an issue. And you need to understand why what you said was very hurtful to people. And you got to stop it, girl. You got to. But I'm glad that we do have the call-out culture, which at some point we will no doubt get called out.
Well, I mean, I think Michelle Obama kind of said it first, is that, you know, this idea that you don't just get to say what's on your mind. And people talk about this whole, even with the president that we have right now, people love that he says whatever is on his mind and whatever comes up. You don't get to do, you have to think and process all your actions. That's just the part about functioning. You have to understand everything you say and do, how it will impact someone else. You just do. That's just being a good steward. That's being a good citizen of the world. And Janae hit the nail on the head. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences. When you say things, you lose the money. You lose the endorsements. You want, like, my thing about it is, and even with all these comedians and people who say things about gay people, the Kevin Harts have said things, Cat Williams has said things, Tracy Morgan has said things, you know, D.L. Hughley says things and talks about it. The issue is that we don't expect my gay dollars. You don't want them or need them. So cool. We don't have to be bothered with each other. It's
exactly.
fine. And
like what
Andrea said, that we have a right, and I have a right also not to like you and agree with you with everything that you say.
Exactly.
And that's just it.
Just like what Andrea commented to, not to mention what's going on in New Zealand. Like, it was just I mean, it's always a bad time to say this, but come on, like, this was even worse. Who's full of shit, Doc?
Probably
Who
one
was
of
he
the
talking
comedian, the president, probably. We mentioned a slew of people who are full of shit.
Comment down below who you think is full of shit.
Yeah,
even if it includes your mom and your daddy.
But I think it's just good to highlight that. I think we are a part of it too. We want to hold each other accountable and say right things. So now
because let me stop right here. If y'all remember a couple of weeks ago, and I do think that we do a pretty good job about, like, not just going with anything and just saying anything, because a couple of weeks ago we wouldn't talk about the girl who was in the club opera because we didn't have all the information. I think it's very important that you don't say certain things on a public platform, because you need, I mean, listen, keep your racism to yourself, for real though.
Racism, homophobia, hatred of misogyny, all of that stuff, all these different things that kind of go on.
Wendy is full of shit. 45.
Well, speaking of, Wendy, 45. We have a whole list of that. So I mean,
y'all keep coming with the comments.
Yeah, we love you. Let y'all know. Let me know who you think. Well, speaking of Wendy Williams, Wendy Williams has been having a not so great week. She has been.
Must we?
What?
Must we talk about Wendy?
Yeah, because we trying to get that slot. Feel like you mean it.
Okay.
We trying to let the company know, like, listen, you got two cheap people right here who are good and likable and not like, we both single, so we don't have no messy stuff popping up. Neither one of us have a girl problem.
Only $15, so I mean, why not?
This shirt actually used to be a work shirt that a cable company had. So yeah, there you go.
Still stealing bags off of porches. I told y'all last week, Lawrence be stealing clothes.
It's a great color.
Address to the Kidney Foundation. I told y'all.
Some of that stuff be nice. I see it I see it.
What company shirt is that?
I don't know. It's okay. I pulled a label up. I don't know. My mama got it for me. Just get off. So your mama, so train up a child in the way that he should go. So it's like, try this shirt on. I was like, oh, this is cute. Anyway, I digress. We're a lot cheaper than Wendy Williams, but Wendy is going through a rough time, and basically, I mean, it's a whole mess coming out. So if you all know, she came out yesterday, and she revealed that she's currently staying in a 24/7 drug treatment facility. She is basically with a coach, a sobriety coach, 24/7. They go to the bathroom with her. They have to do that. That's a part of sober living. She's still going to the NA meetings or AA meetings. But the issue was, the Daily Mail basically got the big scoop on Wendy Williams. Somebody at the Daily Mail had time. And then the Daily Mail played the game silent but deadly. The way they collected all their information, they wrote it down. They had it in a nice little folder. They had it bound, and they said, "Here you." And they sent it to. Apparently, the story is they sent it to Wendy to say, "Do you want to comment on this?" Yes. And so that's when all of a sudden, at the end of the show,
she tried to get ahead of.
She had to get ahead of to say, "I'm in a sobriety house." But she didn't give all the tea of what's going on with the Daily Mail. So I'm going to try to tell the story from what I remember, because I totally was. And also, basically, tonight, we're not lampooning Wendy Williams. We're just pulling a Wendy Williams on Wendy Williams. This is what Wendy would do. We're just doing what Wendy would do. So here we go. So basically, the whole saga starts because it's a known fact that Wendy's husband had a mistress forever. She lived in a house. They had pictures of the house she lived in Jersey. It was a story came out that her husband's Kevin, his name was on the mailbox along with the woman's. And now she's in this apartment. I believe it's in Manhattan, New Jersey, but she's living in a nice apartment, high-end apartment building right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So apparently the girl turns up pregnant. And that caused a big argument. Now the story is kind of piecemeal because a while back, while Wendy was on hiatus, Kevin Hunter, who is her husband, his mother, who is Wendy's mother-in-law, gave a statement saying that, well, Kevin beats on Wendy all the time, and he's the one that fractured her shoulder.
Yes, he did.
So now the story is coming out that they got into a big altercation or a big blow-up argument about the woman being pregnant. And so Wendy somehow falls down the stairs and hurts her shoulder. Now, what they're saying is that this led to use of pills and opioid abuse because that's what they were giving her treatment for the pain, which led to about a month after the cast got off. It led to this extremely slurred speech. I don't know if you were watching it, but she could not make a cohesive thought. She could not finish a sentence. She could not, she would just kind of stop mid-sentence. And luckily, you had kind of the hype people clapping for her. It was a very weird thing. Then Wendy disappeared.
Was that during the time when she fell?
It was right after she fell. So she had the cast. Like, you could tell she was, she clearly was on something. Something cognitively was not right with her. So she goes on hiatus, goes on vacation. She's releasing statements from the Hunter family and all of this of Nick Cannon saying he talked to everybody on the phone. All this stuff is leaking about the people. So basically, Daily Mail, the person who was putting the binder together, little Shaweena. Shaweena found out that Wendy was in. That's why I called an investigative reporter. Her name is Shaweena, just because I want to call her that.
I know it had to be a woman.
Well, she was very thorough. Whoever she was very thorough.
Yes.
So she goes to Florida. She says she finds Wendy at this facility. None of us knew this, but she was at Florida at a full-time treatment facility over the holidays, there for like a month. They find out they're implying that she was drinking and still people were sneaking things into her at the facility because they saw her at a CVS where they sold beer and wine, like literally pictures, not stories. They have pictures of her at the CVS with this woman who
evidence.
I won't call it evidence, but it's a picture with an incriminating story behind it. That the woman
so we doing that.
That the woman basically was real informative. The woman was a patient's parent. And basically, she took Wendy and they were sticking Wendy alcohol while she was there. So she gets back to New Jersey. She's staying in a facility. So she says, "This is what I do every day. I do the show in the mornings. I go and do yoga across the street for 2 hours, and then I go back to my sober living house where I'm under 24/7 supervision. I can't go anywhere. Can't do it." And that's how extreme her addiction. She was kind of crying about it. People are saying that she said it to trying to kind of get ahead of the story because Daily Mail was going to release the pictures anyway. Now today, literally 4 hours before the show came out, before this moment we're in now, this show, they released pictures of the girlfriend again, and now her and Kevin are on vacation. Not right now, but vacation pictures.
They're
on a beach chilling. She's smiling, taking a selfie. He's smiling in the selfie. And basically the story is that he's in love with this woman. And he can't leave this woman because Wendy is pretty much paying all the bills. Wendy is financing this entire operation. And it's become a bit complicated. So, that's the whole point about it. So this is where all of this is hearsay or, what Daily Mail UK is talking about. We don't know. But they say Wendy Williams is still with his mistress. He won't leave her because she won't leave Wendy because Wendy basically bankrolls his lifestyle. She pays the NYC apartment for his lover. And basically they were in Florida on vacation the same time Wendy was in her facility. He would be with Wendy in the daytime, and the girl was on the beach in Florida chilling with him.
So what you didn't hear was about approximately 15 seconds ago, the Daily Mail issued an extended piece where they talked about how Wendy is a part of this whole polyamorous thing going on right now because they said her box doesn't work anymore. And so this woman has a surrogate box. I know. It was a little hard for me to believe too, but then they also showed pictures of her box, and it's closed like how her mouth should be. I'm pretty sure this will be a more developing story too. Lawrence, back to you.
Thank you. I think that, you know, it's a really complicated issue for Wendy because I think that I love how coy she's being, missaid like you mean it, shout it out.
Right.
Wendy, this story is not adding up. You know, it just don't make sense. And
Wendy lying like
good.
hell, y'all. Y'all know when folks lying because y'all booze a lot of y'all all day, every day.
You
if
should
y'all
know what a lie is.
How you should believe Wendy? Come on now. She lied like hell.
You should know what a lie is. If you don't,
right.
if you don't
like,
know what
they
it
look
is.
Like I lie all day. Okay. Wendy lying. She lying just like y'all parents lied to y'all about Christmas and the Easter bunny, your teeth coming out. How the hell somebody put some up on your pillow? Huh?
I love that Nate said it's like a cookie box. A cookie box.
What's up, y'all? Listen, y'all, please comment below about how the lie that y'all think that she's really trying to cover up for.
Well, we know her husband cheats on her. She don't want to talk about it, and pretty much.
But I mean, what's the why behind it? Because like I heard,
I'll tell you, she's painted. She's basically set in a glass house and she's thrown stones at other people. True. She makes comments about everybody's marriage. I mean, to the point, I remember one day I was disgusted watching her show. She was talking about Sierra and Russell Wilson, who for all of us have been really couples goals. But they're sitting up here. She was like, the body language. She doesn't really love him. She doesn't really like him. She doesn't really want him. Look how they said. And they were just literally taking a picture at the White House. And she said the body language didn't work. She's always looking for holes in other people's relationships and their situations when it's a gaping hole in hers. And I think the problem is that, you know, it's okay if you're poly or whatever, but it's a deeper conversation. And he doesn't have respect for you and you don't have respect really for yourself. It looks bad. Like she's always giving it. She's giving advice to women about relationships. What a man does. She's showing off her being vain. Like this man has been working. And also, I told you this on the phone, in the 90s, they were saying that she got into some trouble on the radio because her husband was sexually harassing and abusing the staff. He's been known to have a temper, known to have outbursts, terrifying to everyone else around him. And so it's all a mess. And it's like for you, but it does show the type of person that wants to sit up. And it is really the show that I don't want to have, but how she sits up and talks about people all day, every day. And her fans are like, well, this is her job. This is her job. And you know, she has a right to do this. And it's just like, yeah, but you know, it's kind of like you gotta be ready to take some of the heat yourself. Yeah. And if you were a say it like you mean it type of girl, you would come on out. Like Chrissy, what Chrissy would come on out and say what's going on.
Her whole platform is built on her saying that she's gonna be honest and tell the truth and tell it like it is. But when it comes to her own life, like we always say on the show, she calls somebody's baby a damn cash register baby. Yeah. She talks about everybody and how much love somebody has for another person. But when it comes to her own relationship, and we know that there are issues in her relationship, people have been hearing about this for years, and she barely wants to talk about it, and now she wants to use, and listen, I'm sorry, I know people deal with substance abuse, but it is something where if people are dealing with substance abuse, a lot of people don't want to come and drag them for it. So in my opinion, she chose one of the most obvious things that you can drag someone on and not really have any, like try to not have any really.
Well, that's PR. That's PR media.
Of course.
They told her what she can say.
And we still got to get to the bottom of the story.
And then she started, and then she showcased they have a Hunter Foundation phone number where you can call if you have addiction issues. I've suffered with it. I go to meetings with my brothers and sisters. I'm not Wendy in those meetings. I'm not glamorous. I'm down here with the people. And all I can say is this. Olivia Pope can only fix so much. So whatever fixer and PR media training and that you have, you need to be really careful because it's only so much they can fix because this story will not go away. It's been out for a while and we've kind of turned a blind eye from it when, you know, you got away with it when the whole mistress came out. But the heat is still on. I think that she will kind of get through this, but I think the problem is the walls are closing in and more stuff will start coming out. And that's what is complicated and scary for her.
And I don't think she's going to be able to deal with it. Like she's already literally, like her knees are buckling under the pressure of everything that's going on.
And what Janae said, Iyanla, I think, and Sherrod and Docs, you know, said she needs to go on Iyanla. And just come on. I think that, and Jazz and I talked about this on the phone. We were talking about the show this evening. You know, there's an opportunity. People love these woe is me stories, man did me wrong story. I'm a breadwinner. I'm a black woman supporting this man for all these years, and he does this to me, victim stuff.
Yes.
That's how you get Barbara Walters to come out of retirement and talk to you. That's how you get a new book deal. That's how you get your show renewed. That's how you openly talk about it. You get an hour-long special. Because,
Yes.
I mean, she could get this is the HBO Emmy-winning special, Wendy Williams starting over again. You know, you can do a whole story about going by yourself and doing your thing. And you know what happens?
She could be on Sesame Street presenting the letter P for privacy. Like she could do so much. But seriously, like this PR turnaround for her would be amazing. She's in her 50s. Like it would be great to start over your 50s. What if she got a great divorce attorney and was like, he can have half. I don't care. I just want him out of my life. Like and move Kevin. Like Kevin, do your thing. Like do whatever you want to do. Get out of my life. I'll just go ahead and I'll write you a check for half. Don't ask me for shit else. You don't
and
get
just
nothing
say that you need
and
the
then
money.
She starts over.
Downsize.
And she starts her entire life over.
Get you a smaller apartment.
Lawrence said earlier she should do the Great Migration to white men.
I did not say that. You said that. I knew you about to tell a lie, another lie. But I think that she needs to do a great migration into a better situation.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that's the whole point. And this is exactly what she would say if this were Kelly Ripa going through all of this and if Kelly Ripa couldn't go to work every day because her husband was beating her ass and cheating on her like this, she would say the same thing to Kelly Ripa. So Wendy, I'm just saying this to you: restructure yourself, rebrand yourself. Right. You buy this man out of the marriage because he's gonna come at you with lawyers, razor blades and lemon juice. He's gonna try to get every dime he can get. Yeah, he's gonna try to get everything that he can out of you and gonna go crazy. Get you some security, keep your sober close with you, get through this, and sell just and you become the hot topic. Navigate through it, rebrand yourself as a single woman who can do it for herself. I guarantee you will shine. And probably
would. People would love that.
Yeah.
We would love to see her come out on top that way by being honest about her story. It'll be awesome.
But she want to keep this facade of a marriage, and that's gonna cost you everything. And that's the problem, is that obviously this man might be a problem. And I think, honestly,
he's gonna kill her. Like he's gonna kill her. And I don't mean like physically kill her, but I think all of the stress is gonna kill her. Yeah.
Well, I think it's the same thing with drug use too. We see all the memes on Instagram about how you could get drunk in your 20s. And, you can drink, and then get up next day and run a marathon. But like in your 30s, you drink, you're down for like a week. You need to go to the urgent care, get you a drip. It's the same thing with drugs and stress. You can lead a stressful, high-profile life where you want to do a bump of coke or two on the side to get through it, or take you some pills when you're young. But when you older now, that stress will kill you. That stress will get you. These negative situations, not having peace, being scrutinized on TV every day. Everybody's checks are dependent on you. Like, there's no way we could even begin to talk about Wendy's pain and what she's going through right now. But it's like, you gotta clean yourself up. And I mean that with being sober, but also just all this bullshit you talking about people. The fact that you can sit up there and fix your mouth to spread gossip about anybody, and your life is by the backdrop
and what she's going through.
Because now they literally have a picture of your husband and his mistress on vacation in Florida. How they get that picture? On vacation in Florida while you were in rehab? Girl, bye. Like you
are at the lowest point of your life, and he is out on a beach.
Right,
like, girl.
With his lady,
you don't feel away.
Not on the beach with your son. Not on the beach with his family. Not on the beach trying to with his girlfriend. Chow cheese. Okay.
Right, like he living, like literally living his best, y'all's best life without you. Like, that is crazy to me. What did Khadijah say?
She said, I don't know why people are still watching Wendy. I wish her well, but I did really need to come back. Yeah, and everybody's saying it's like, today it's going to be on Snapped. She'll be back on, and I just hope that it doesn't get too crazy. Khadijah, she's already been on Dancing with the Stars. She didn't do so well on there.
Oh, she can't dance. It was
very weird. It was too painful.
Yeah.
You know, but that's that, baby. You know, I mean, that's just, we just want to pray on Wendy,
My
Diary of a
lipstick
Mad
coming
Black
off.
Woman too. It's like, Wendy, in this Tyler Perry movie, It Is Your Life. Like, stop it. Get to the end part. Stop being the woman working hard. I was your lover and your secretary and the breadwinner, and you getting beat up in your house. Because the thing about it is too, let's just say, you know, as my mother will always say this phrase, two phrases. Everybody not lying to you, one. And two, not that much bad stuff happens to anybody. If somebody was like, and she would use the latter one for when somebody had all of these issues about why they couldn't do something. I lost my job. My car blew up. I got beat up. I got robbed. I lost my wallet.
Damn.
All that bad chain reaction. But at the end of the day, everybody's not, Wendy, these are not some crafted, well-orchestrated lies.
Exactly.
Something's got to give. And
these are the truths, or your truths, and people have been following you because you have done people so dirty, and you're caught. Like, we know the story at this point. So it's better for you to get ahead of everything and just come clean. Like, that's what people are really looking for. Like, people actually like Wendy. Some of y'all do anyway. So people are just really looking for Wendy to come clean and to get ahead of this and tell us what's been going on. That's it. That's all we want. And
or go away.
All of this shit up.
Or
and
go
she
away.
Continue to talk about people. What'd you say?
Or go away.
Yeah, I don't think she can do that because I think this is her release. You know, from Kevin. Like, she needs some kind of relief.
She gotta protect herself. Yeah. And I mean, she's gotta like really be clear about the narrative of what's going on.
You gotta get away from Kevin, or like, you know.
And I just think about all the stuff that she did to Whitney Houston, that comment, how she did this interview that was a comedy
she was
of
on drugs too.
But then stood up there on her show and held up these Whitney posters and cried her eyes out when Whitney died. Like, girl. Yeah, Andrea, call Gayle King. Gayle King need to interview her. That's who we call, Gayle King. Because Gayle King is with the mess. She's classy. She's a journalist. She's with it. But Gayle King is with the mess. And Gayle King, I think, can handle it.
I don't know, y'all, because, you know, Gayle King couldn't ask certain questions. And I want someone who can ask all kinds of questions. Like, I don't want someone
you're never going to be able to ask
integrity.
But see, Whitney knows media. She knows how these interviews work. So she's not, but see, Gayle is somebody who can match her energy. Robin Roberts is too nice, and they gotta stop pushing Robin Roberts out for this stuff. That ain't Robin Roberts stilo. She's human interest, feel good stories, sports. Like, leave her out.
And she be crying sometimes in her interviews. We don't need nobody crying.
Yeah, we need Gayle King to say, Wendy, what's going on with you? You know, but I do think that it is an interesting perspective, and it's just somebody kind of wants you to win, but you gotta stop lying. And you gotta stop. You gotta really understand this is an opportunity. Well, what do we know? We two people filming a show on our iPhone. What do we know? Wendy, we know
something. Listen. Let me tell you what we do really well, though. We know when folks are lying, and we know when something ain't right. And I think everybody's on here like, oh, but shout out to Lawrence, because Lawrence is always actually predicting shit. Y'all should really actually start listening to him, because Lawrence is really good at predicting trends. He's always ahead of the curve.
Especially messy stuff.
What are your predictions on this?
She's not going to be able to sustain. Like, it's going to continue to get worse. And she's going to, like, you can't, like, how long is the sober coach going to stay? When are you going to go back to your normal life? He's not leaving the baby. Things are going to keep coming out. His behavior is going to be more erratic. It's like, you can't, and my daddy would say that about drugs, about how, you know, even when you look at a Whitney Houston, who we found out from documentaries had been using drugs as young as 12 and 13. You know, that for her 13th birthday, one of her uncles said, I gave her a little dime bag of weed and a little bump of cocaine for her 13th birthday, gave this to her. She was able to maintain and sustain through her 20s and 30s and the beginning part of her 40s, because you're young and you can kind of bounce back from that. And then all of it spiraled out of control. All your demons, the reason why you're using the drugs, the escapism, nobody could pull her out of that. And she wasn't ready to have the conversation about addiction. It just doesn't sustain. And that's the problem, is that even somebody, you look at somebody like Mary J. Blige, who open one about her addiction in the 90s, but now Mary is doing it up. Like, Mary, I watched that show, Umbrella Academy. Mary, and granted, I know she used a stunt double, but I told my roommate, I said, Mary in good shape, though. Mary,
did you see that,
though? It wasn't unbelievable.
Mary did really well.
And they put a picture of Mary out yesterday where she was on a bikini with a pretty bathing suit on, looking phenomenal. Like Mary is the one.
And Mary is 192 years old.
Yeah, Mary ain't no young woman. I mean, she ain't an old woman, but I think she's, you know, she's 48. She ain't old, but I think that she's at a point in her life though, being 48, where you can't have them cocaine benders no more. You can't have them alcohol
how well you can do after the end of a relationship. And sometimes the best thing you can do is get rid of somebody. And she got rid of Kendu or Cantu, Bantu Knots, whatever his name is. She got rid of him.
She's hanging in.
Now she's doing so much better. Like
she's hanging in.
Doing so well.
And hopefully, you know, end of the day, Mary gonna be at the senior citizens community living place to live her best life with her sister, having a good time in the dancery. She gonna be getting it off.
In this day, no hateration or violation in this.
We get ready to dance right on out of here.
In this assisted living dancery. Okay.
We about to dance right on out of here tonight. Listen. Thank y'all.
Oh, wait, it's somebody's birthday. It's someone's birthday.
Who birthday?
Patty Parker.
Happy birthday, Patty. Oh my God.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. We love you. Thank you so much for watching. Turn on up with Mary J. Blige in the dancery. Don't do no drugs this week.
Are you straight or gay?
Why would
Patty Parker?
Jazz, you can't ask people questions like that.
I can ask them. Are you straight or gay, Patty? Because I want to know if you're gonna be sucking dick or you be eating pussy tonight. Or what mouth? Will you have a mouth? Well, I can't really say with a mustache
so good.
Women got those too. You know, shout out to my handlebar mustache. But like what you, of course, and thank you. Of course, what you gay?
We do so well, and then he just saying thank you for support. He ain't never gonna watch the show again now.
Well, Petty, you know what show you clicked on, okay? Stay your ass up out of here if y'all ain't ready for the thunder. You are so happy birthday to you. How old are you turning?
He said he loves everyone.
How old are your bald hairs? Do you have any gray hairs on your below? That'll let us know how old you are. You love everyone. Oh, so you pansexual. Okay. So you just be fucking everybody. Greedy ass. Okay. Like my fat ass, you just greedy. Okay.
Why you gotta be like drunk auntie all the time?
I know, right? You know, I get to the end of the show and I just be like, fuck this shit. If y'all made it this far, I'm about to cut up.
This is the part where Oprah is watching and she's disappointed. The show is, he just canceled the show. This was, I'm done.
No hair, no gray hair. 25 again.
Otto, we love you too. Thank you. Anyway, and yes, Earl just canceled our show. Earl gonna be right back. Anyway, you all, good night. Happy birthday again to you, Jared.
Happy birthday, boo.
Happy that you watched with
share
the birthday.
The video, guys. Please share the video. Share. We finally made it to 2,000 views per show. We've only been doing this for like 3 months now. We're very excited. Thank you guys. Share.
I love that Jazz does not like to end the show. You want to sit on here and talk. You are not ready to go. Jazz is never. Rated R show, real friends, real talk, real informative, and also real messy. We are not going to sit up here because the longer I keep this show on, the crazier you're going to sit and get. You're going to sit and think
you know,
I'm
already thinking about stuff to say. Like, I'm like,
and on that note,
I'm
shutting it down before Facebook had banned us. Good night, everybody.
He won't let me be great. My lipstick feeling